Welcome to Guelph White Wrestle Hut. In this video we explore what went down between Goldberg and Undertaker in their geriatric war. Was it age, was it exhaustion, or was there more to this match than meets the eye? Stay tuned for those answers. Welcome to Guelph White Wrestle Hut. I am Andrew Sennedra. This is the Master Blaster, Captain Witchfingers, and today we're going to be exploring an interesting match, quite a debacle as some might have put it. Goldberg versus Undertaker. You decided to come up with this because you thought this was quite an entertaining match for all the wrong reasons. So we're going to dive into, was there a conspiracy behind this, or was this just a poorly executed match by a couple of wrestlers, Undertaker and Goldberg, sort of falling out of their primes quite a bit in this. So we're going to dive into all the different things that happened and all the potential conspiracies that went down. So I'm going to let you lead off on this since you wrote a majority of this thoughts on this one.
So the marks might think this is a battle of two legends, but then I look at them, I see two geezers, so I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see how it goes, kind of thing, right? And it starts off, it's like a punch, and then he does a spear, right? Goldberg does a spear. Something I'm like,
it's over.
Yeah, but you're fresh, right? You're fresh. You see this old man stumbling to ropes, and then you run into spear. You can easily dodge him left or right, but you just stay right here and you take the spear. So I'm like, okay, Undertaker, you just take on the false spear, almost get beaten right off the bat. I was like, okay.
So then we move on to the second spear that he kicked out of, and Goldberg's like, he kicked out of my spear. I don't maybe he was thinking that wasn't supposed to happen, and he was just gonna put him away Bray Wyatt or something. So he goes for another one, and Undertaker's like, I'm not taking another one. And Goldberg going back, he's it's full bore. This is some Steven Seagal style shit right here. He needed a body double on this one, and he's gonna need body doubles later, as we'll find out. But he goes full bore into the turnbuckle, and sort of ends up really disorientating himself quite a bit throughout the match, which causes more problems later on.
He went full bore, head first into those posts. He's dazed, he's busted, doesn't know where he is, got a little bit amnesia. and then Goldberg looked like he was supposed to do something a transition afterwards. Yeah. And then he kind of collapsed because he's dead. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so maybe that was the part where Vince was grinning in the back. We all thought that Vince sort of wanted their safety, but we thought maybe he wanted to get rid of one of these two guys. Primarily Goldberg. He was trying to get rid of his hefty old contract, and he was kind of glad that he was sort of dying, because I think shortly afterwards Undertaker was going to put the end to the WWE WCW feud right there, with that brutal tombstone afterwards, where he just spikes him right on his head, as we'll see here in a second. So that's your first of two Mortal Kombat finish him moments, where Goldberg's getting spiked on his head. Undertaker was going for that, finish him permanently style Mortal Kombat, execute his ass. But Goldberg says no to that. No, he's not going down that road. He's not letting Vince try to execute him, and he's not done with the WCW, WWE war. Goldberg stands his ground mighty fucking strong.
That's funny. And then he's like, oh, Undertaker's you're not dead yet, eh? Let me snake eyes, throw your head first on the turnbuckles, see if that kills you. But he survives. And then Goldberg comes back, spears him, and I'll let you describe the jackhammer moment.
Yeah, I really think Goldberg in this moment was full on believing, because of that head running his head into the post there. I think he thinks himself, as we know to a degree, because of his his ego, that he thinks he's the Incredible Hulk at times. He can lift anybody. He used to jackhammer big dudes, Nash, Paul White, the Giant, those types of people. So I think he's still going back summoning, thinking can pull some Bruce Banner shit, turn into Incredible Hulk, and jackhammer the Undertaker, which we found out due to exhaustion that was not the case, and he is just a mortal man, and pulled off the second Mortal Kombat moment of spiking Undertaker on the back of his neck, nearly killing him, which I think might have, been not Vince's idea. I think he, didn't want Undertaker to die, because they're pretty close. I think he was wanting Undertaker to execute Goldberg, but Goldberg kept kicking out, and Undertaker was kicking out, which set off Goldberg. So we ended up with these two geriatric egos, clashing in this. So it ends up being quite an interesting mess of things going on here, and quite could have injured, paralyzed and killed two individuals.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I'm like watching this match, I'm like rewind. I'm like, did I see what I just saw? Rewind. I'm like, oh shoot, that was like head first.
Yeah, it's surprising that they did come away okay from this. The way the moves were landed, especially the considerable weight of each individual coming down at the same time is quite big. But I think we're going back to our theories of what could have happened. Was it Vince pulling this off? That's our slight comedy. Was it, Goldberg and Undertaker having a bit of a feud there? Or was it just straight up exhaustion from two, well past their prime wrestlers? So now we're closing in towards the end of the match, and you noticed a couple of other things as well.
Yeah, and it's funny, when he's actually doing the jackhammer, you actually hear the commentators say, there's no way you can do this, right? They were right. They knew Goldberg took too many blows to the head. You can't do it, right? And of course he didn't, get him all the way over. And he just kind of crushed them. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting when you see their facial expressions. After Undertaker wins, you should look happy or something, but you look miserable. You look distraught. You look frustrated. You look pissed.
Maybe he was disorientated too. He was just oh, my career's over. This was hot as hell. Oh, I'm surprised I'm alive.
You just look both guys, and you just see the look of defeat.
So that is our theory, sort of discussion and breakdown of this very interesting match from Goldberg and Undertaker. What do you think happened in that match? Was there more to it than meets the eye? Was it ego? Was it sandbagging? Was it Vince? Was it exhaustion? There's a lot of things actually in this one that really happened, and it really could have ended really badly. Sure. It did end up, being, comedic moments, I think, if you take them that way, or they're very serious moments. So, what do you think? Let us know down in the comments below, and if you got any interesting theories on matches you think we should dive into, let us know in the comments below as well. So until next time, folks, how about some heavy wrestling?